So, got anything funny to say today?
Probably not.
Not really?
Nope.
Good. We're going to start off with a story time with Ryan.
God.
Can you guess what story we're going to tell?
No.
No?
Nope.
It's from your college days. Do you remember your college days at all?
Barely.
Barely?
Barely.
What about the time you woke up, hungover, and walked to class?
There's a lot of times.
Yeah, and the time you shit your pants.
This did happen.
Okay, tell the story. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so am I telling this because of the bodybuilding nerd story?
Yes, so Andrea Watson filled in for V yesterday because he's at rock and roll band camp on the Sunset Strip, blasting guitar with the Stone Temple Pilots and Alice in Chains. So Andrea Watson was like, I'm your girl, and she had some really funny one-liners. My favorite one was when Scott was talking about some kind of like Biore face wash, and he said it made his face like so soft, and Andrea said, soft like the soft part of a penis or a soft part of a dick, and I was like, I know what she's talking about.
I was gonna say, what's a penis? That's called a dick or a cock.
Yeah. And then she also told a story,
meat stick,
about a supplement review with Yohimbine HCl, and she shit her pants. So I told her that she was really funny and that you can't trust people until they shit their pants, and I will make Ryan tell his worst pants shitting story on the come up today. So let's hear it. Let's hear your pants shitting story.
Well, I too have a supplement review then that made me shit my pants, and it is called Busch Light. And so we've mentioned it before. Basically used to be a functioning alcoholic. So I had an OWI when I was like 20 years old, right? And so I wasn't driving at the time, and I lived about a mile away from campus. And so I'm walking to class, hungover, and my stomach starts churning and gargling. I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta speed walk and make it to school, right? So here I am speed walking. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna shit myself. I get like 100 yards from school. Can't hold it. Like, my entire insides just spill out into my fucking pants. Diarrhea, like, like it was like pancake consistency.
Yeah,
like pancake batter, thick pancake batter, full. And I'm wearing athletic shorts, all right, and like boxer briefs. And I'm like, oh fuck. Well, I can't go to school now. Can't just walk in there and go dump my underwear out into the toilet. So I'm like, shit. I got to turn around and walk like 3/4 of a mile or a mile back to my apartment. So I have my hands in my pockets, like pulled really tight to keep the shit from running down my legs, and and I'm walking back, and like every step I take, like a little shit runs down my leg, and it hits me in the back of my fucking ankle or the back of my foot. I'm like, damn it! I just bought these athletic shorts a week ago. I loved this fucking pair. And mind you, I'm walking down a busy ass fucking road, and so there's all these cars driving by. It probably looks like I have an adult diaper on, and then there's just shit running out of it. And yeah, so I walked about a mile back and got into the shower and stripped down, and then threw my clothes away. And that's my Busch Light review. Sponsor us.
What the fuck? How old were you when this happened?
20.
20.
Yeah. This is 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yep.
That's your worst pants shitting story. I hope.
Well, there's another time. So another time in high school, I used to skip class all the time and like go to the movies, right? I'm sitting there.
I don't know if I've heard this.
Probably. And so I'm sitting there in the movie. I'm like, fuck, I got to watch the rest of this movie. I make it through, but like I can tell I'm getting gassy and like stomach's bubbling, right? So as soon as the movie's over, I like speed walk down to the fucking bathroom, and I pull my pants down. I go to sit down on the toilet, and it fucking explodes before I can sit down. Shit all over the toilet, like all over my underwear. And so I sit down and finish shitting, and it's like diarrhea again. Because yes, in high school I was a functioning alcoholic too. And so long story short, like take my pants off in the fucking stall and leave my underwear behind the seat, behind the toilet. So whoever cleaned that fucking bathroom, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry.
So I'm guessing, so in the women's restroom, you have like little garbage receptacles in each stall for like tampon wrappers and stuff. Men don't have that. Right? There's no garbage receptacles?
No, but it would be nice if you had like in the male restroom, like a shitty underwear receptacle.
That's all it's for.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's the perk of having the shared sex bathrooms now for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I can
Just
put
in
my
case.
shitty underwear in tampons.
So Andrea said that she has an extra pair of panties with her all the time. And she said, is Ryan of that thought too? Does he always have extra panties? And I said, Ryan doesn't think that fucking far ahead.
No. I do carry wet wipes, though.
No, you fucking don't.
I know, I'm just kidding. I don't like it. It makes my butthole cold.
Oh my God. I'm just going to throw in there that this morning, today's Saturday when we're recording. Ryan is a night owl. He stays up late. I am an early bird. I get up super early. I go to bed really early, which I think is why we're going to be married forever, because it's like we're on different time schedules. We get to see each other a couple hours a day.
You can go to sleep and then I just stay up and get really high.
Yeah. So this morning I was like, hey, we're recording early. We need to get up. We need to do this and this before we, get our Skype interview going. And he was like, whoa, it takes him forever to get out of bed. So we needed to go get coffee. I did cardio already. We needed to go to the store, get coffee, come home, get our game plan together. And he gets out of bed finally. And I noticed that he's dressed like Winnie the Pooh. He has a t-shirt on and nothing else.
It's comfortable and I was cold.
And so
my upper body was cold.
I'm on the phone with my sister, Caitlin, and
you were FaceTiming.
I was FaceTiming. I didn't turn around so she could see you. She said nobody wants to see that, right?
She didn't want to see my boner.
She did not. And she said, well, I hope it's not a crop top. And
not that fat yet.
It wasn't. But yeah, if
about
anybody's
4 months.
wondering how Ryan sleeps, it's like Winnie the Pooh.
Usually I sleep in just shorts.
But
But last night I was cold. I went to sleep in a t-shirt and underwear. I woke up. The underwear was constricting my balls. And so I took them off.
You're ridiculous.
In the hopes that I might get lucky in the morning.
You're a ridiculous person.
Instead, I just wake up with a boner and nobody touched it. Except for
I was
me.
at the fucking gym already. I noticed too the heated blanket was on. So I don't know how you weren't.
It got below 40 degrees last night.
Yeah, oh God. Yep. So now everybody sees what I'm dealing with.
Yeah. You're fucking lucky.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Pros and schmoes.
you are listening to
The Come Up. Hello, ladies and babies. I am your host, the ladies man from El Bayou. Have y'all ever watched that show called The Swamp People? You know, the one where they go around hunting them alligators in the little boats, and they like speak all kind of weird, and then they practice voodoo and witchcrafts, and they can actually make human beings out of clay. They whisper some Yahweh into this clay bean, and it just starts walking around, hunting, gathering, fishing, building pyramids. It's some ancient civilization type thing. I just don't know, but this swamp people is crazy. They crazy.
We're actually not going to talk about swamp people today.
Sorry, am I on the wrong show?
You're on the wrong show, the ladies man.
Sorry, I must be the next door down.
Yeah.
If y'all want a fish sandwich, though, hit me up.
What's up, Ryan? How's it going?
Oh, what's going on? Who was that guy?
I have no fucking idea.
Was that Leon Phelps?
I fucking hope so.
Yeah, I think it was.
So let's talk about our show today. Episode 10. Can you believe we made it to double digits?
We're almost to 1 million.
We're almost to 1 million. We're almost like Joe Rogan.
Yeah. A lot of people compare me to Joe Rogan,
Do
which
they?
is really cool because I'm not even.
Yeah.
Not even.
Because you're both like kind of fighters and
'Cause I
you
just wanna
eat a
do-
lot of meat.
I just want to do like DMT. Have you seen how strong a fucking ape is? Have you ever done DMT?
No. Nope. Should. But only with Joe Rogan.
Leg kicks really hurt.
They do.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Joe Rogan do a spinning back kick?
No.
Like legit.
Nope.
That motherfucker will fuck you up.
I told you he's one of my celebrity crushes.
Yeah. That's cool. I get it.
I get it. I get it too.
He's one of mine too.
So we originally had a plan for an interview today. Didn't work out with our guest, so we will be interviewing him next week. But we had an emergency stand-in, and that is my little sister, Caitlin Nichol.
Yay.
Yeah, so we're going to talk to her about a bunch of stuff, mostly what it's like to be a non-bodybuilder that has a sister for a bodybuilder, and fitness from her perspective. It's actually really cool to hear, what she sees and thinks, not being in the industry like we are.
Yep. So this show will be not bodybuilding related, but we try to tie it into bodybuilding stuff, and just like fitness and weight training in general.
Yeah. There's some good stuff. Don't forget the show brought to you by TrueNutrition.com. Use code ADVICES at checkout. And I just remembered that because I'm almost through the chocolate Thin Mint whey protein isolate that I have.
Pretty good.
It is good. I like that one. I think I talked about getting double flavor, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But I'm able to use like a ton more water now. And so my shake is way bigger, and I kind of appreciate it. So it turned out to be a good, quote, mistake.
And you stay more hydrated. That's
right.
A fucking win-win.
Win-win.
Yep.
Also brought to you by Forged Nutrition. Use code DELF at checkout. Shout out to Forged Nutrition.
That one is 15% off.
That's fucking right.
Yep.
And our training businesses, Trained by HD. Hit me up, trainedbyhd@gmail.com, or somewhere on Instagram. You can hit at Hailey Delph or at Trained by HD.
Hit me up at mysovereignaesthetics.com. Just do it.
Just do it.
Like Nike.
Yeah, that's right. I also need to give a shout out to the Kate D'Annunzio. You've probably heard her on the Advices Radio Network before with Scott on Advices Radio, the change expert. And we had a session yesterday, and she's just like super fucking cool, like one of the coolest people I've ever met. But she's helping me deal with this E. coli issue and the big stopping point to my pro year so far, or I shouldn't say stopping point, like the barrier that's put a stop to my original plans. We talked through a bunch of like motivation stuff yesterday, and I think it's going to be really beneficial to be working with her. So if you guys you need to check her out. If you're struggling with anything, like whether it be bodybuilding or non-bodybuilding related, she offers services. So make sure you check her out. That is Kate, I think _D.
Like
DEE on Instagram, yeah. Kate as in KAIT. So you can find her there. Yeah. You got any shout outs, Ryan?
Shout out to Oxygen.
Yep.
Shout out to Calories.
Yeah. Yeah. One more thing. Hold on. Before we start talking about oxygen and calories, Kate recommended a Netflix documentary for me yesterday, and I'm going to go ahead and recommend it to everybody listening to this podcast. It's called Heal, Heal, and it's all about, this shit's right up my alley. It's all about how we have the ability to heal ourselves, from sickness, from anything that we're going through. It all starts in your mind and mindset, and that we have much more power than we've been led to believe when it comes to leading a life that we want to live and not being dragged down by like chronic illnesses. So I check it out. It's really powerful stuff. She said it altered her way of thinking, and I gotta say, it just like really affirmed some stuff that I already thought, and it made me want to take everything that I'm struggling with right now and just use my own mind and the abilities that I have that I'm not using to fix it.
Yep. I watched the whole thing. Mm-hmm. You kind of fell asleep.
I did. I got to watch the last 15 minutes.
I watched the whole thing. It was really good. It's right up my alley, too.
9:30. Of course I fell asleep.
Yeah. But no, I liked it because I've kind of thought like that my whole life. You know, that thoughts become things, and like, yeah, you can really heal yourself just with your attitude. Mm-hmm. But yeah, check it out. It's good shit.
For sure.
What's it called? Heal?
Heal, yeah, on Netflix. So yeah, anything else we need to bring up before we get into this interview?
3 weeks out from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, 3 weeks out from Puerto Rico. I'm not less fat yet.
I am. I'm a little less fat.
Yeah, what were you at this morning? 230.
I was down to 233.
Fuck yeah.
233.
Because we're thinking, what, like 222, 225?
Probably 225.
And you guys, this motherfucker will float weight like nobody's business.
Yep.
Like, he can wake up and be like, oh, fuck, I lost 10 pounds. Look at that.
On Thursday, I was 243. On Friday, when I did check-ins with VJ, I was 236.4. And then today is Saturday while we're recording this, and I was 233 this morning. So 10 pounds in like two and a half days.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I got to be not fat and look decent in Puerto Rico and then be fucking done.
Done.
And then I'm going to try to hit 300.
All right. Journey begins now. Welcome back to another episode of The Come Up. I am Hailey, and with me is my husband Ryan, and also also on the line today is my little sister Caitlin. Caitlin, what's up?
What is up? I am the little sister, but I am bigger than you in a way.
That's true. You're taller than me, quite a bit, actually.
Yes,
but everyone is. How are you feeling today?
Well, if I'm going to be transparent, I feel like shit. I am so hungover. My mouth is so dry. My head hurts so bad.
And
drink a damn Gatorade.
Yeah, you didn't. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Yeah? How many drinks did you have yesterday?
Like 5.
5? Did you get roofied?
In a few shots.
Oh, okay.
You're like back to being an amateur again.
That's the kicker.
Yeah,
It's
I'm not
shots.
mad about it.
This isn't the Caitlin I used to know.
No, we've moved past that point in our life.
No, so where do you currently live? I know these answers, obviously.
I currently live in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yep. But you're moving home.
Yeah, I'm out this bitch May 31st. Bye.
Deuces. Peace out, little Somalia. Oh, you want to throw me over the fucking balcony at the Mall of America, you little fucking cunt? I'll fuck you up. You pirate ass motherfucker.
Whoa, chill.
Little pirate. Little black pirate.
Jesus
Yeah.
fuck.
Don't worry about getting shot or bombed. Like, you're just going to get thrown over the railing.
Before you guys get super hyped up about this, Caitlin, for her athletic background, she's pretty much a freak athlete. She's not a bodybuilder yet. I'm keeping my fingers crossed here. But she did play Division II collegiate softball, and she went to Augustana University in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and she set the Division II season record for home runs hit. So she's a stat champ.
Ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right.
How many was that?
Only 23.
Only 23, but how many games did you play?
Like 60.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's almost one every other game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah, and I think I probably haven't hit 23 home runs in my life. Because I wasn't always this fucking big, guys.
Facts. That is facts.
Right, I was really fucking little. So
Caitlin also played for Team USA.
Yeah.
Division
That
II
is
Team
true.
USA.
Yep. And you went to
Curacao.
Curacao. Did you see Rolly Winkler?
I don't know who that is, so I can't say.
Rolly Winkler is one of the biggest bodybuilders out there right now.
That's fucking perfect that you said you don't know who
awesome.
that is. Because that just goes to show that normal, regular people outside of our culture within a culture have no fucking idea.
No, but they have an opinion, that's for sure.
Oh, bet. Let's get into that.
That is a great segue, Caitlin. Thank you.
Yeah. We want to know what's it like for you to be related to bodybuilders, having a bodybuilder as a sister and having a bodybuilder as a brother-in-law.
It's so interesting. I think there's so many like different viewpoints with it. Like sometimes it's fucking annoying. I'm not gonna lie.
Explain, what's it like?
So I love it. At the same time, it's so cool because I'm so proud of you guys, and it's just like you're really working on your craft, and I really support that. And in a way, you know, just like live through you by just hyping you up. Like,
fuck yeah.
Check my sister out, check my brother-in-law, and they're like, "Oh, do you do that too?" And I'm like, "What the fuck? Look at me. No, I don't do that." Like, come on, don't ask dumb questions. But other times, you know, people who know nothing about, you know, your guys' journey or how you got to where you are, or, you know, the effort and dedication and consistency, just like all the background stuff that, you know, isn't portrayed on social media or just like the surface of it, you know, they'll have an opinion. You know, it goes from either that's gross, like, what does her husband think? And I'm like, well, this is her fucking husband. He likes it.
He wanted to
also
hit that
well.
shit.
Or, you know, people making assumptions that you guys just, you know, you eat McDonald's every day and take steroids and that's how you look.
I fucking wish.
Which is fucking irritating.
They would be correct.
I would love to eat McDonald's every day, with or without steroids.
I just don't have the time to, one, I don't have the extensive knowledge to really lay it out for them, but I know, you know, I have enough knowledge to be like, no, you're fucking wrong, but you're also a waste of my time, and I'm not gonna fucking talk to you about it and explain it to you.
Yeah.
So I think I get both sides of it. You know, it's much easier to talking to people who are, you know, are also in the industry, but not everybody in the, you know, in the industry is good too, like, to talk about it.
Right.
But it's so funny, you know, just you get all ends of the spectrum with it, but like, oh my God, that's your sister, that's gross, or oh my God, that's amazing.
Right.
You know, the funniest thing to me is when people are like, do you do it? And I'm like, no, like that's her thing. Like, and I don't look anything like that. So,
well, you could though, you know that, right?
You have the same genetics.
Right. And it's just McDonald's and steroids. So I think I can hop on.
So other than us being bodybuilders, what's it like being related to Ryan? Just like the person that he is.
Other than you can say you have the best looking brother-in-law.
Oh my God.
Who's really smart and funny and beautiful.
I love it.
Above average
it's
penis.
So I would honestly, okay, so Hailey, you remember me saying, like, I'm so happy I like my sibling. Because I know there's a lot of people who have, you know, brothers and sisters and they just don't click. They don't have a good relationship.
Right.
But you and I are very, very close. And so I would absolutely fucking hate if you married some fucking twat. Like, oh my God, it would just I think it'd take a toll on our relationship, and I wouldn't like you as much.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Speaking of, good reason for you to be done with the last fuckboy.
Oh my God.
Bet.
Honestly.
Anyway, we can get into that later.
Yeah. So I'm so happy that you married Ryan. Ryan, you have brought so much joy to my life. Just
oh, thanks,
in
Catherine.
So many ways. But it's really funny when people are like, okay, Ryan, what the fuck? Your brother-in-law. And I'm like, I know, right?
Mom and Dad are always like, well, there's that line again. He crossed it again.
Yeah, again.
Within the first sentence.
No boundaries.
No.
No boundaries. You mean most people don't tell jokes about, like, fucking their daughter in front of the parents?
No, most people don't do that.
No.
Holy shit.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know why I just thought of this,
but it's the norm around here.
I got us a card to give Mom next week for Mother's Day.
Solid.
And it's fucking funny. It says, on the front, it says, I'm not a stripper, I'm not in prison. And on the inside, it says, way to go, Mom. So Ryan got the same one for his mom.
Seriously?
Yeah. Tina's gonna.
Oh my God.
Well, our mom will just laugh, and Ryan's mom, Tina, will open it and she'll be like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah.
Which is so hilarious that I'd say me and you are a little more reserved than Ryan. I mean, we're not reserved, but everyone is more reserved than Ryan.
No, exactly.
And our parents are like a little crazy. But Ryan's parents are pretty reserved, and they raised this thing.
Yeah,
I raised myself.
I saw something on Instagram today talking about like parents who are strict like raise like very sneaky children. And then somebody like commented and was like, people who has parents are teachers, and I'm like,
bet for sure.
The worst.
Yeah. We should talk about growing up together. I tell people this story all the time, Caitlin. Remember when we used to play? We grew up in a pretty small house. Like we had one bathroom. Me and you shared a room for a long time, and until we got separate ones. And we used to play the game where we'd hold left hands and we'd take turns punching each other.
You know, that's an actual sport now.
Yeah. We should fuck. We would be so good at it.
That's my calling. Why didn't you guys tell me this sooner?
Well, for one, your hands are so fucking clammy.
They
are. Mine are so dry. So we would hold left hands, take turns hitting each other with our right hands. And this one time, I remember, this has got to be like actually I think it's the second concussion I ever got, and I'll tell the story about how I got the first concussion here in a little bit. But Caitlin and I called truce, and we were like sitting, we were like breathing, we're like down on our knees, like looking at each other like, truce, we're done. And all of a sudden, like I looked away, and this bitch takes my head and smashes it against the bed. And I was out. I was like out for the count. And I wake up and she's like smacking me in the face, like, wake up. Like, don't tell mom. This is where I've always been like the smaller big sister, because we're pretty much the same size. And now like I'm obviously more muscular than you, but we were very close to the same size when we were growing up. And so I like came to, and I looked at you and I was like, you better fucking run. You ran.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a crazy amount of emotions experienced in such a short time, from like going to playing the game and then just like having an issue. I killed her. To like I got, I had a very bad temper growing up, a really, really bad temper.
For those of you wondering, she had fire red hair when she was growing up too.
Yeah.
So when I knocked you out, I was like, oh fuck. Did I kill her? And it was like instant panic. It went from like complete anger to I just killed my sister, and then you woke up and it went to I'm going to fucking die now. So
do you guys think this, like, that relationship and how you guys played together sounds different than how most sisters
totally
would play. Do you think that how like roughhousing and shit, like a bunch of little boys almost, like influenced how successful you guys have been and were in athletics?
I think so.
For sure.
Don't you?
And
we're so close in age. Like, I'm 29, Caitlin's 26. We're 3 years apart growing up. Like, we always played on the same sports teams, because I started pretty late playing sports. I was like 12 or 13. So she started when she was like 9. And we were always competing against each other. Like, always. We lifted together. We were on, we would have like drills and stuff together. So it was always a really competitive thing. And I think like our parents were probably better suited to raise boys. but they got girls. So here we are. Yeah. But that brings me back to how I got my first concussion. That's why I'm not afraid to be in parking lots ever, because I when I was 8, I got hit by a Dodge Ram on my bike.
In the alley, right?
Yeah, in the alley behind our house that we grew up in. And this fucking guy like smoked me, and I went flying off of my bike, and I woke up and my head was fucking killing me, and I see our neighbor beating the shit out of this guy. He's like,
he was trying to do a hit and run, right?
Yeah, he like hit me, and he's like, oh fuck, I killed this 8-year-old, and he like tries to take off, and our neighbor was like, fuck no, and was beating the shit out of this guy. He's like laying on the ground. Our neighbor picks me up, walks me back home, and like we had a sitter, so that was even worse.
Yeah, like dropped you off at the door, like nothing happened. Like,
and I was like, I don't know what happened to me.
Yeah.
So mom and dad came home. That was crazy.
Yeah. No, I definitely think our childhood, like looking back now, it's so funny because you don't know any different, and you're absolutely right, Ryan. Hailey and I, it was so physical, like just hitting each other, and like we didn't play with dolls, and we didn't do those things. It was so active in sports and just competing. And I honestly think if my parents, if mom and dad had boys, I don't think that would have been good because, you know, we were like little boys.
I always tell this story. You never went hunting with Dad, did you?
No.
No, I'm the firstborn daughter, so I got to go hunting with Dad.
That's right.
He should have just like found a little kid somewhere in our neighborhood and be like, "Hey, son, you have a dad? You want to go hunting with me?" That would have been better than me going, because I remember I would fall asleep all the time, or I'd be too loud.
Weird, too loud.
Right?
No.
Yeah. So the first time I went deer hunting with Dad, he field dressed a deer with me. And I just remember he, like, whipped out his buck knife and, like, cut this fucker from the sternum down through the crotch. And he's like, "Are you ready?" And I was like, "For fucking what?" And he, like, takes my hand and sticks it inside the deer. And I was like, I knew at that moment that he should have had a son.
Yeah. I feel so bad for Dad, too, because he didn't even have brothers. Like,
No, I know.
he had 2 fucking sisters.
And he's, like, such a man's man.
He just had
is.
a single wide trailer with no running water
Yeah.
and himself to play with.
Yeah, that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
So, in that, you know, Ryan has a little brother too, but they are 6 years apart.
Yep.
So you guys didn't.
That's so crazy to me.
You guys didn't really grow up like that. Because if you would have hit Nick, he probably would have died.
I would have killed him. I think I hit him like not super hard a couple times when he really pissed me off, and I felt really bad about it. I still feel bad about it.
You still feel bad about it?
Like, if I were to hit him now, I would kill him.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's funny. It's funny because Caitlin and I are both, like, we're athletic and we're still into fitness. And not to say that Nick's not athletic, because he is.
He's a freak
like
athlete, actually.
He's kind of a freak because he's a lefty. He's a pitcher. He can do all the, like, skill things. But if you look at him, you're like, you're not an athlete.
Right, no, you're a fucking naff.
Yeah. Well, that's because he hasn't lifted a weight more than maybe 10 times in his entire life.
Right. And what is he? 24?
24, yeah.
24, yeah. Yeah, it's just funny. He's like, if all 4 of us were together, it'd be like, yeah, that's the one that doesn't do anything. Yeah.
Thank God it's not me.
Yeah, all you have to do is beat one person.
Yeah, but he really is. He is a freak athlete, though. It's crazy.
So, Caitlin, I mentioned this earlier, but we do have the same genetics. Have you ever thought about maybe giving bodybuilding a try?
I think now that I'm moving back, that it definitely could be a possibility, just because, you know, having you as a guide and a support, and, you know,
Ryan's about to do a Ric Flair woo again.
Woo! Hell yeah, you get free coaching. You can be our guinea pig. Well,
I think that, you know, just being defined. I was talking to you about this, Hailey, a couple of weeks ago. I feel like my entire life I have been defined by athletics. Like, that was my identity. That was who I was. That was my entire life. You know, playing collegiate softball and for a really successful team, you know, in Division II NCAA, and being, you know, a really good standout athlete as well. Individually, it was that was who I was. And I feel like after I graduated and I stopped playing sports, softball too, it's not something that, you know, you can't play like a pickup game of softball like you can basketball.
Right. Well, you can, but it's going to be trash.
Yes, exactly. So
especially when you played at a high level.
You're gonna go play fucking beer league slow pitch.
Right.
Right, which is also a funny subject when people are like, "Oh, you should play slow pitch with us," and I'm like, "Bro, no, you don't want me on your team. I promise."
That's like, nope, that's gay.
Yeah, like I will be I will not be an advantage to your team. I promise.
No,
but so I feel like I graduated college in 2015, and it's 2019 now, but I think getting back into, you know, just fitness in general, and you know, competing, or because I am, you know, I'm just naturally a competitor. It's been instilled in me my entire life with softball, and it's something.
I think because you're at around the age when I started bodybuilding. So because I've been doing this maybe 4 years. with VJ as my coach, and there's a little bit of time before that. And that's like, once you're done playing college ball, you're right, like that's how you meet your friends, that's how you get your discipline throughout the day, that's how you manage your time. I mean, you're going to school, you have a job, you have your friends, and then you're done and you're like, what the fuck, I have to do my own fucking laundry? Like, this is weird. And that's a metaphor for like everything. You're like, everything is different, my time is completely different. And so you have to figure out what to do, and then you have like a couple years where you're like just doing whatever the fuck you want, drinking, doing like all the fun stuff that you couldn't do while you were disciplined in college. And then you're like, I don't like this anymore. Like, I want to go back to having a disciplined lifestyle. And I think that Ryan and I talk about this. You know, there's a couple different like archetypes that come into bodybuilding, and it's the addict and the like the athlete. You know, like you were an athlete your whole life and you're like, what the fuck? I need to compete again. I need something to give me purpose. I need to try to win at something. Or like the person that is addicted to it.
Yep.
You know? So
I noticed that in you, Caitlin. I've never really brought it up, but I noticed when you were done playing softball, you still like wanted to identify as a softball player. You know what I mean? Even for like a year or two, but then it's like nobody refers to you as a softball player anymore. You're like, who the fuck am I? What am I doing?
Yeah,
and I went through the same thing. Like, I had baseball, and then I was done with baseball. I'm like, fuck.
Then
who am I?
Then you started fighting.
Well, I mean, I was fighting while I was playing baseball.
But then
I had
kinda took
MMA,
over.
so I was still a fighter or whatever. And then I'm like, well, fuck. What do I? And then we were just alcoholics for a few years. And I'm like, we need to fucking do something.
Right.
Exactly.
So, I get it. Hell yeah.
That makes it so interesting. I've talked like time and time again about wanting to do something, especially for female athletes when they're done with college ball or whatever they're doing in college, to kind of transition into a normal way of life, because everything has to change. You know, we've talked about this with you, like the amount of calories you burn doing a 2-a-day, like softball and strength and conditioning, is crazy.
Yep.
So when you get done, what do you do with your diet to try to you know, like make that transition, because you're not going to be burning all those calories. So what happens? You store it, you gain weight, you don't
get fat as fuck.
Yeah, you don't feel like you're supposed to anymore because your output is just not the same.
Right.
But schools, you know, it's a money thing. You know, they bring athletes in, they put your ass in the seat. They're charging you money for the most part. Like for most people, they're not going to get their way paid in college. And then once you're done, they're like, okay, bye, take your degree, have fun. But nobody has any direction.
Right. And I think you're totally right when you come, you know, from that viewpoint, like the transition. It's so weird. You go from, you know, the 2-a-days and, you know, even like just identifying as an athlete at my college, like the clothes we wear, like, you know, I'm an athlete, you know, I play softball, you know, just, I didn't have to tell people who I was. They knew who I was.
Then you get in this big ocean and it's like, who are you? Yeah,
exactly. And like I said too, you know, I was a standout player. I was really successful. So people, it drew more attention to me just because of my success. And, you know, I don't have softball anymore, and I knew it was going to end, but I absolutely wasn't prepared for, you know, you're right. Here's your degree. Thanks for the 4 years.
See ya.
Keep making your student loan payments, bitch, but bye.
Yeah. So, also, we're going to send you a letter so that you can donate to us.
Right.
Fuck
okay.
you.
Fuck off.
I love that when I get that from I just got my St. Ambrose, please donate as an alumni. And I'm like, motherfucker, I still got to pay you $30,000.
Yeah. Like, donate what?
Right.
God.
Yeah, I already did. I already donated
But,
to y'all.
Yeah. The transition is, you know, I was an All-American. I was a statistical champion. And even in junior college, you know, I was a player of the year. I was also an All-American, and nobody like, that doesn't come up in conversation.
Right.
I don't, you know, that's not who I am anymore. Was it a big part of my life? Absolutely. Is it paving way to my success now? Yeah. But like, for me, it's, you know, I go to work, you know, and I don't want my job to be something Could
Right.
I, go back to school and become a doctor and, make that my identity? Yeah, but no, I don't want to do that.
Right.
So,
and you also don't want to be like the guy standing at the bar like, well, I used to be an All-American.
right. Like, fuck, I don't give a
that
shit.
happens too often. I know.
You know, when I was in high school, I squatted 800 pounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My knee hurts now, though, so I can only
Yeah.
do about 315. So.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but that's only on leg press, and that's a quarter rep.
Yeah.
Speaking of work, Caitlin, what do you do for work?
Oh God, I'm everything. I'm a social worker, so it depends on the day what I do, I guess. Which is complete fucking bullshit.
Tell us your favorite story from being a social worker. Remember, don't say any names.
HIPAA, God forbid. Geez, I don't know. I have so many stories. One time, I'll tell you two. One lady was trying to get her carpet shampooed, and I'm laughing, but it's fucking bullshit what I deal with. She got a quote from the guy who was going to shampoo her carpets, and he shows up. And she starts adding rooms. So obviously, the quote he gave you is null and void now. Like,
Right.
You're going to have to pay more. Like, you're
Right.
adding more rooms.
And if this was like a, quote, normal person, they would know that.
Right. But not normal. Not the closest thing to normal. So, and she had none of her furniture, moved. And he's like, she wanted it done that fucking day. She wanted the same quote. She's adding rooms. Everything about this is a fucking disaster. So I'm like, okay, trying to redirect, intervene, be the communicator, whatever. Bad idea. She's like, well, the client at the time was like, well, telling me that I can move the furniture. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Wait, they wanted you to move the furniture?
Yeah, she was like, well, she can move the furniture. And I'm like, no, the fuck I won't. I'll tell you that much right now. So this carpet guy is like, okay, fuck this bitch. Now this bitch, I'm being crazy too. He was like, I'm leaving. And then it ended up being my fault. She was like, you told him to leave. You don't want him to shampoo my carpets. And I'm like, bitch, I don't give a fuck about your carpets if they do or don't get shampooed. Oh my God. And she was just screaming at me. Anyways, I end up de-escalating her, and we schedule an appointment to meet next week. Everything was fine. I show up to her house the next week. She opens the door and is like, you can't come in. Totally freaked out on me. Was like, I fucking hate you. I'm not working with you. You're a terrible fucking person. And I'm like, okay.
Whoa.
Bet I don't get paid enough for this. I'm out.
Okay, enjoy your next caseworker.
Enjoy your mental illness.
Yeah, so she fired me, and then I ended up getting a new job, and she ended up being on my caseload.
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah. And I'm
at the next
bitch.
What do you, group or whatever? When you transition? That's hilarious.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't. But, so yeah, that was my first time getting fired by a client too. And I was kind of offended by it. But I was like, you want to know what, bitch? Fuck you. Fine. Fire me.
Fine, bye.
Recently, I have a client who he's a huge Trump supporter, really big Christian, fucking is the racist motherfucker ever, and hates women.
Oh, so, great, good. And you're his caseworker?
And I'm his caseworker.
Awesome. So, Betty loves you.
Well, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything with you, bitch. So, he'll always call me, when I'm not working.
Hey, just so everyone knows, too, she doesn't actually, say fuck you and bitch to her clients.
No. Absolutely not. I would not be employed.
This is just how we translate stories in my family.
So he'll call me after hours, and because my voicemail's on 24/7, and he'll leave me messages. So he's super passive, but tries to be really confrontational. And I'm not the one for that. So I'll call him back during normal business hours. And anytime he answers the phone, I'll be like, it's Caitlin, your case manager. And he'll be like, oh, hi, Caitlin. How are you? like just tries to play it off, and I'm like, no, bitch, we're gonna talk about this. He recently, he's trying to move out of his apartment, and he's like calling these property managers, leasing agents at other apartment buildings, and they don't answer, which is pretty common. Like a lot of property managers do that, but he takes it super personal. And once you get a ball rolling with him, it's fucking rolling. It can't be stopped. So he ended up leaving this property manager a terrible fucking voicemail, like about like nothing about the property, like just basically saying like, you're liberal, you're a feminazi, you don't support Trump. He was like, you can take your apartment building and shove it up your ass. And you shove it up your ass, I hope you get hemorrhoids. Just like going off. And I'm like, and then he ended the voicemail and he was like, all right, have a nice day.
That's awesome.
So this property management company sends it to me, and they're like, he is not allowed to lease from here. We're terrified. And I'm listening to it and I'm fucking dying. And so I have to follow up with my client about it. I'm like, can we talk about the voicemail you left this property? And he was like, yeah, it was a nasty message. And I'm like, yeah, no fucking shit.
Yeah, they sent
can't
it to me,
say
dude.
shit like that. And he was like, I don't have a right to free speech. And I'm like, no, you do. But like, chill the fuck out.
But here's the consequences.
Bro, you're giving us Trumpsters a bad name.
For real.
Honestly. And even like, he was in the hospital and he had a Somali nurse, or no, just a normal nurse. And he said she assaulted him by taking out his IV. I'm like,
oh my God.
What do you mean assaulted you? And then so the security guard got brought in, and he was Somali, and he's like, I kept calling him Muhammad, which apparently wasn't his name.
Oh
my God. Appreciate that. And I'm like, bro, you can't just call people Muhammad. Like
that actually happened to be the same guy who pushed a kid over the balcony at the Mall of America. He was
I'm pretty sure he's
it was workplace violence that spread.
Right.
God. Oh, I have stories for days. I'll have clients who call me and like freak the fuck out on me and scream at me and hang up on me, and then will call me back and be like, leave me a voicemail and be like, I'm really sorry. Have a good day. Bye. Like,
oh my gosh.
Fucking A.
Can't
so
do
yeah, well, I'm getting out of social work. I can't. I've been in it for like 5 years, and I can't fucking do it anymore.
I did it for 2 and had to peace out. Fuck that noise.
Yeah.
It's rough, man. Like there's got to be some rewarding parts to your job, but I think even with teaching, for me, it was like there's a tipping point where it's not really as rewarding as the negative side of it. Especially when you get paid what you do. I think that's a really big part of it.
Exactly. I mean, if I got paid, a lot of money to do it, and that's terrible for me to say because, but money is money. Like it does play a very large factor in your life. And, if you have a little bit more of a payout, it might be
right. Softens the blow a bit.
Yeah. But no.
All right. Well, social work stories. Let's talk a little bit more about fitness. From your perspective, like the first time you went to see a bodybuilding show, I think was my first show. What did you think? What was going through your head when you were watching the people on stage?
That I'm a fat piece of shit. Honestly, talk about like, God, if you ever need to humble yourself, go to a fucking bodybuilding show.
I mean,
holy shit.
For real.
It's very interesting. And at that time, that was forever ago, just from being, at your side and following your journey and, learning as you've learned. And I knew nothing then. And
I barely did. I think my first show was the first show I ever went to.
Yeah. And it was so crazy to me to like see how that actually it goes. And everything that goes into it, and that like it's a spectating sport. Like people literally will watch you and judge you. And like I remember you telling me like, because you could look up like what the judges were saying and like
not the judges but the commentators.
Like stuff people were saying, and I was like, oh my God, this is fucking insane.
Yeah, it's kind of brutal.
Pick you apart.
Yeah, but I mean that's when you get on stage, like that's what you give
you
a
signed up
nod
for
to.
it,
Yeah. Yeah, because then like you get the judges' feedback too, and they're like, "Well, your glutes are soft. You know, you need to do this. We didn't like your suit color. Like all these different things."
Right.
Yeah, I remember that show. My mom and dad were there, and they'd never been to anything like that. I mean, they watched us play fucking softball and run track. They don't. I mean, the closest thing to this that they did was watch us cheerlead. And they fucking hated that too. So, I remember they watched the Bikini Girls go, and they were like, "Okay, we understand figure, but we don't understand bikini."
Why are they sticking their crotch out to the third row and then winking at the judges?
They were like, "Do you have to wink? Do you have to do like the shoulder thing and blow a kiss? Is that a part of it?" And I was like,
literally, the Bikini Girls make me so uncomfortable. Oh,
see,
so
Bikini Girls, it's not just us talking shit about
That's
you.
right. We're not talking shit because it can be done
I
right.
mean, like,
but
fuck, do your thing, bitch. Like, bend over, stick it out, do your little shoulder shrug, whatever, shake it. But fucking A, you're making me uncomfortable.
That's amazing. Amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like figure and whatever else. I'm like, okay, cool. Like these poses look like I like this. This is very interesting. I want to watch. Where like bikini, I'm like fucking looking away. Like, what are you doing? Please stop. Oh, I hated it.
It's a little bit different. There's, I think, too, that first show that you went to that was a local, not even a regional show. So that gets out.
It's a regional show.
Okay. Yeah, in Ottawa, Illinois.
It's
an Illinois State
qualifier.
show. Yeah. So, but that brings people out that really shouldn't be doing what they're doing.
Yeah,
you know, because
sure.
I mean, I think have you been to any more of my shows?
No, I haven't, but I've watched a lot, like online.
And you see the pro Bikini Girls, and you're like, that looks much more controlled.
Exactly.
Yes, they do not blow kisses to the judges.
No.
They don't stick their...
Yeah.
They pop their glutes, but they do not stick their crotch out to the judges.
Right, exactly. Actually, a lady that we work with, another coach, came to me the other day, and she was like, "Hey, do you want this posing client? I'm not sure I want to work with her anymore." And she showed me a picture, and I was like, God, no. It's... I've seen her pose before, and she basically does like a pop lock and drop it before she hits her back pose. And I looked at, this is Jessie, and I was like, I looked at Jessie, and she's like, I knew you'd say no. Yep, can do it.
Gosh.
So
yeah, I mean, going to the shows too, it's pretty amazing. Like to see, like I just from being a competitor and like the outside looking in, like how physically and mentally exhausting it has to be for competitors, and how long of a day it is, and just like it's so tense. And I feel like people kind of have a misconception about like you guys just step on stage. Like there's so much more that goes into it, and just like the behind the scenes, and it's crazy to me.
Yeah, even little things like, I don't think I've mentioned this on the podcast yet, but little things like the process of getting your tan. Have we talked about this yet?
Yeah, I mean, we did a little bit about the Arnold.
Well, so like in St. Louis or whatever, you know, I go and get my tan. Like, people don't realize this sport is not for the modest. Like, you are going to be butt naked. Like, I'm in a hotel room with two ladies butt naked with my little dehydrated, flaccid dick out.
Did we talk about that?
I don't know.
Okay, tell the story. Tell the story real quick.
Yeah, if we already told this story, sorry, but I'm in this hotel room with liquid sun rays, and there's two ladies spray tanning. I'm the only one in there. And I'm like, well, this is the first time I've ever had to pay to be naked in a hotel room with two ladies. But yeah, you know, so you're fucking naked, getting spray tan on your butthole, and they make you bend over, and then like
you were so dehydrated.
Oh my gosh, it was so bad. And then I had like little third grader dick, and then to like take a shit. Or for women to take a piss, you have to put your towel down on the toilet so you don't stain the toilet. Like little things like that people don't think about, stressing you out.
Exactly.
And then when you're taking a piss, like you got to make sure you dribble it off just fine, otherwise it's going to run down your leg and ruin your tan. You know, like little things like that.
My favorite part about that though, Ryan, is I picked you up and you came out and you told me how you had your little sock covering up your junk, and when she had you bend over to get like underneath your glutes, it almost popped off.
Yeah, I'm like I gotta be careful. I'm like almost to 2 belly buttons right now from bending over. And she's like, "Oh, don't worry, it happens all the time."
And then you left and you go, "You guys want your sock back?"
She goes, "Thanks, but no thanks." I'm like, "Oh, suit yourself."
Oh my god!
And it is funny too. I have my female clients are like, "So like, what do we tan in?" And I'm like, "You go naked." Yeah. And they're like, "Naked?" And I'm like, "Yeah, naked. I mean, you can wear what they call a cookie cover, but you might as well just fucking go naked." So yeah, you're gonna be in like a little, it's almost like little cattle cars, and you're lined up in your drying spot, and they call you in and you're butt ass naked in front of everybody. But I always get my tan. Ryan's always like, "Why do you get tanned so fast?" Because there'll be like a bunch of female sprayers, and then there's one male, and they're like, "Does anybody care if a male sprays you?" And I'm like, "Nope, this bitch don't give a fuck."
Well, he's usually gay anyway.
A lot of times too, but the girls are so like, "Oh no, I need a woman," and I'm like, "Oh fucking, that's an hour of my time."
Yeah.
Well, I feel like women are more judgy of naked women right in front of them than a man is.
Yeah, right. Do guys or just girls spray you guys? Have you ever had a male tanner?
I've never had a male tanner.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Just hot chicks.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you get a massage, chicks are like, "Oh, I don't care if it's a man or a woman," but almost every dude I talk to is like, "No, I only get massages from ladies."
Yeah. I would prefer to only get one from chicks.
Yeah. You don't want a man rubbing you down?
Well, here's the thing, like, I like our masseuse, Bailey.
Oh, she's the fucking shit.
Bailey's a little bigger chick, but she's strong enough to, like, get deep as fuck.
Shout out to Bailey at Massage Envy in Davenport, Iowa.
Yeah.
Because she's awesome.
Bailey is bae.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, so, I mean, I would have a male masseuse. I don't care. Like, you got to be able to be strong enough to do what you got to do, but I would prefer a chick.
I can just, like, picture Ryan in his, like, getting his massage and being like, fucking doing crazy shit, like, "Just jump on my back, with your feet, let's fucking go, get in there." Like,
I wish.
Oh my god.
So the first time we met Bailey, I wonder if we've told this story before. We get to Massage Envy, and I have this like dude named Grayson who used to massage me until I went over to Bailey too.
Like
Grayson was really good.
Boy.
Yeah. But he comes up, he's like, "Hailey," and I'm like, "Hi." He's like, "Hi, I'm Grayson, nice to meet you." And then Bailey, this chick comes up and she goes, "Ryan."
Well, the Massage Envy people are like, "Okay, Ryan, you're going to be with Bailey." I'm like, "Okay, sweet. Bailey sounds cute. That's cool." And then she comes up and she's like, "Ryan." I'm like,
he looked at me.
I shook her hand and she had a really firm handshake, and I'm like, "Hell yeah, this is going to be good."
Yeah, he looked at me. He looked at me. He goes, "This is going to be good." And then he was like hurting.
Oh, Bailey's the shit.
Yeah, crazy. Serious question though, Caitlin. What do you think of when people put "fit" behind their Instagram handle?
I fucking hate it. Like, literally, fucking take "fit" out of your bio. Take "fit" out of your fucking handle. Take "athlete" off of your page. Fucking stop. Like, oh
but
my God, it's so irritating.
What about when I was HD fit though?
Okay, well, if you're HD fit and I go to your page and it's like, "Yeah, she's fucking fit," like, that makes sense. But if you have yada yada fit, I go to your page and half your pictures are you fucking snorting cocaine and drinking every weekend, fucking stop.
Yep.
It's a really good point. Ryan did say, he joked one time, he's like, "I think I'm going to make my name on Instagram the Tyrant Killer Fit."
Yep.
I would die.
The Tyrant Killer fitting all these cookies in my mouth.
Yeah, no shit. Fitting this whole
Honestly.
cheesecake in my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah, that is one of the most irritating things in the world because I feel like it's just a disrespect to people who are legitimately fit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny because when I started bodybuilding, I remember I didn't use Instagram, and then I started using it, and I just made it HD fit, and I got so much shit for that. People, but that's another thing. Like when you start bodybuilding, people will give you a fuck ton of shit.
Hell yeah.
You know, I remember I'd like go meet mom and dad. They'd have a beer and I'd have a water, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're a bodybuilder now?" And I'd be like, yeah, my goal is to do a bodybuilding show."
Well, that's really hard, you know.
Yeah, and they'd say, "Well, that's really hard. You know, like people can't stick to the diet. Like, how are you going to gain muscle?" And it was like that for years. Like years, people would say that, but I persisted, and they would be like, "Oh, what's up, HD Fit?" And I'd be like, "What's up, John?" Like, hey. But the cool thing is with bodybuilding is the times, like the tables turn very quickly if you stick with it.
Yeah.
So 5 years later, like these people, they want to hire me to help them with their diet, and it's just funny.
Sure.
So if you're gonna start and you're gonna put fit behind your name, be fucking ready.
You know, John, sticking to this diet's really hard.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
How's the cocaine in your pocket?
Yeah,
exactly.
So let's talk about this. We do a schmo corner. I know you've heard our schmo corner before. Do you, as just like an athlete or like a normal person on Instagram or Facebook, do you get any weird messages like that, or is it just our weird bodybuilding culture that people think they can like send you work boots and weird things?
Well, when I was in college, I definitely got a lot of stuff just because, you know, you're in the news, you're on the TV, you're on like your college's Twitter.
You had cleat chasers.
Yeah, exactly. But now that like I'm older and I'm not an athlete anymore and my account is private, I don't get a lot of messages, and the weird ones I get are from people I know, so I'm not going to call them out. But like,
yeah, I appreciate you not calling me out in front of your sister here.
It's fucked up.
When I was
people probably already think there's something going on. Remember when you were home a couple weeks ago and I took Lucille home and you guys went through the drive-thru together?
Yeah.
Ryan was like, "Oh God, people are going to think I'm with your sister now."
And the night before, I went out to eat by myself because Hailey was asleep already, and I got a cheat meal. And I heard somebody at the table behind me saying, "Is that Ryan? Is that Ryan Delph?" They're like older women, I don't know, like my parents' age. And they're like, "Yeah, it is. Why is he by himself?" So I'm
Where's
like,
his wife?
I'm like, "Oh, great. People think we're getting fucking divorced or some shit now." And then the next day,
small town Iowa problems.
And the next day, Caitlin and I went through fucking the Whitey's ice cream drive-through or some shit. And I'm like, "Oh, great. Now they're really going to think that something's going on."
Yeah.
He's with a new girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was in college, people would like DM me or comment on like pictures, like talking about me. But they would like say fucked up shit too. Like somebody would be like, 24 is so fucking hot. Like she's such a good softball player, yada yada. And somebody would be like, "Yeah, but I'd never date her because she's a fucking bitch." And I'm like, damn, y'all, like chill out.
How did they know you so well already?
I'm like, you don't even fucking know me, but you're right. Like, fine.
Dude, that's how it is though. It's crazy. You know where I get the worst comments is on YouTube. Like people on Instagram, for the most part, it's like, you know, the flame emojis and like, "Yes, bitch," like, "Yeah, you're slaying," because your friends are always there to support you. Not like your real friends that you have in real life, like your Instagram friends.
Internet friends.
They're the most supportive people.
Yeah.
But and then like Facebook, whatever, it's like mom and dad's friends or like the people that you went to high school with that want you to get in some like multi-level marketing scheme. and Twitter's like the fucking wild, wild west. But
buy my coffee.
Yeah, please. Yeah, have you ever, Hailey? Could you please say that you use It Works wraps?
Can you try my ID Life protein?
No, I can't, because you just want to say that me dieting and doing cardio comes from It Works wraps. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, fuck off.
But YouTube is like where people sling the most shit. And they always, the most comments are always like, obviously, "Well, you look like a man. You take too many steroids. I can't believe how terrible your skin is."
Nice voice.
Yeah, nice steroid voice. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Like, this is just my voice.
I know. Fuck. Got off my back about it.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So, what? Do you have any questions for us?
Oh my goodness.
Not to put you on the spot or anything. Or
I
like general fitness questions. You know, like what people would ask us.
Okay. I think, well, damn, sorry. I have like an advantage because I get to talk to you guys every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like general questions are, do you think, like, do you have to work out 7 days a week, or can I, get fit and lose weight and be healthy, and only work out, 5 days a week? Or,
yeah, that's a really good question.
Can I diet, can I have a cheat day every week? Can I...
Mm-hmm. Let's break that apart.
Yeah.
I think people get confused between, like being a competitor and like an elite bodybuilder and just being like healthy and fit and wanting to lose weight.
That huge because people think, they see when they hire us, especially, they think like whatever I do, they're gonna have to do, which couldn't be further from the fucking truth. It's just like teaching, or it's just like social work. You have to read your audience, and that's how you create what they do. But let's talk about the training. Do you want to start with that, Ryan?
Yeah. So, to me, I think you should not weight train 7 days a week. Mm-hmm. I would say a minimum 3 days a week. You could do like a full body 3 days a week. I would say do some sort of cardio at least 6 or 7 days a week, whether it's just like 30 minutes on the treadmill walking or whatever. But yeah, I think like ideally maybe like weight training 5 days a week, go like 3 days on, day off, 2 days on, day off, something like that. And then every day you're doing a little bit of cardio. But at minimum, I would say you need to lift 3 days a week. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
No, I think that's good. And when people are super new to it, like it's just like drugs or anything. You do as much as you have to do to get results. Because if you just go fucking crazy and go into it, like, yeah, you're gonna make progress, but who knows if you're gonna be able to maintain that. Like, that's what a lot of these like boot camp places do. They like throw you into this 7 days a week, like balls to the wall stuff, and then you just fucking kill yourself on it. But real progress that you're able to attain and maintain for a long time comes at a steady pace.
Yeah, and especially for like super newbies, I think, so there's some studies out that show that higher frequency at the beginning is really good for newbies. So I think like training full body 3 days a week, like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, not going to where you're killing yourself sore, but you're training hard, full body those 3 days, and you should see pretty good results at the beginning, I think. So, and then you can evolve from there.
Yeah. So go ahead.
I was going to say, what do you guys think about, people who feel are held back or limited, like modifying things for them to, fit their, like for me, as example, I have really, really bad knees. My knees are terrible. So,
well, you did have 3 knee surgeries.
Right, exactly. And I know that kind of holds me back from, doing those really deep squats or doing, but do you think there's modifications or ways around that and you can still see good results?
For sure. I think that's why we have machines. I don't want to say a lot, but there's bodybuilders that have huge fucking legs that never fucking squat.
Yep.
You can work around anything that you have going on, but a lot of making that better is building up the muscles around what you've injured. I'm a good example of that with having basically shoulder reconstruction. I tore my bicep tendon, rotator cuff, and labrum severed completely. And then had to get them all repaired and then build up every single fucking muscle around it. And now it's better than it was before. Yeah. But the first 3 years of that were awful. I mean, awful. And people don't take care of themselves. They want to go, say you take like the 35-year-old guy that used to be a college football player.
I used to squat 800 pounds.
Yeah. got an injury, goes back into the gym and is like, well, I'm going to get under 225 right away. No warm up, no problem. Like that's not okay. The ego takes advantage of us, and sometimes you just have to go back to square one.
Yeah, you can modify anything. So
for sure.
And you think, like, even just, people in general who are trying to get healthy, lose weight, recovery is an important process for them too. I know like for you guys, you have to really take recovery days and really work, like massages and going to the chiro and all of that, because, it does take a task on you. But I feel like that's also something people who are just trying to lose weight and get fit, or have a healthier lifestyle, I think they forget to like take care of themselves and recover as well.
A misconception, especially for new people, is that they need to do more to get more, and that hashtag grind time, hashtag
no days off,
no days off, hashtag get this bread. It's not a 7-day a week thing. Like, I can't tell you how many people, even like middle of the road bodybuilders that we've met, are like, well, no, I don't fucking take rest days because I need to grow. That's a huge fucking misconception, because when you are in the gym, you're using the nutrients that you have to tear down muscle. Right. You're tearing yourself down. You're not building yourself up. Later, when you eat, later when you sleep, when you take a day off, when you recover, that's when you actually build muscle.
True that.
For sure.
I've said it time and time again. I've taken 2 fucking days off and just done cardio every single week since I started bodybuilding. And I mean, I think the proof's in the fucking pudding. I've put on probably close to 40 pounds of muscle since I started bodybuilding.
That's insane.
And I train 5 days a week, and I train really fucking hard. So maybe, if your intensity is not up, you can get away with the 6 or 7 days a week, but you better be recovering in between there. And that, you got to read your body. Like recently, I was going to bring this up later, but I've been doing heart rate variability, where I test my heart rate variance in the morning. I do like a morning readiness test, and it looks at my sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, and it gives me like a rating for the day on whether or not I should push it and train really hard if my body can handle it, or if I should take a couple steps back and recover. And it's been really interesting, because the bro split, or the 5-day split that I've been doing for years and years, turns out after every fucking leg day, I'm not recovered. I'm not ready to go into another heavy day. So I've been changing things. I've been moving things around so that when my body's ready, I fucking go. And when my body's not ready, I listen to it and I take a break.
Yep. I'm going to start doing that too.
I love that. I love that you guys are, I really get irritated by people who they've done something a certain way for so long, and they're not open to like trying new things or looking at it from a different perspective. And I think that's why you guys are so successful, because, you look at the research, you talk to your coaches and people in the industry who can really benefit to how you're going to get your best results.
It's really easy. Shout out to the Advices Radio Network, because we have people to listen to like Scott Veach, Dr. Scott, Skip, S2H, Dr. Ogden, Dave Crossland. Yeah. Am I forgetting anybody?
I'm sure there's some.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you have, if you listen to Advices, you have like your own little mentors and unofficial coaches. If you think about it, you can learn so much. So.
For real. There's probably going to be a better way to do things. It's the people that want to live in a comfort zone that don't, because like it's just the way of the United States. Everyone lives in stress, everyone lives in chaos, and they think that that's where things grow, but really you have to be stronger than that, and detach yourself from it and take a rest day. Like you can't go all the time.
Yeah, I get it. Like the old saying, if it ain't fixed, don't broke it, or don't if it ain't fixed, don't have sex with it. No. if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Oh my god!
Like, if you can improve on something, why not?
Right. Exactly.
Right.
You don't have to change everything.
If it ain't fixed,
don't
broke
it.
That's gonna be the title of this fucking episode.
Oh my
wow.
God!
All right, you heard it here first. Yeah, are you hungover?
Nope,
just hungry.
Yep.
And he's wearing my donut worry trucker hat.
I saw that
on my live feed.
It's pink. You guys want some flabrad?
You want some flabrad?
Jeez.
So, Caitlin, tell us about so you're not a bodybuilder yet, but what's your training like? What do you do right now? Because I know you're trying to get into better shape, and you're eating a better diet. How have you cleaned up your diet, and what are you doing for training to get that going in the right direction?
Well, this past month's been a little odd for me. I haven't really done anything. But that's just not anything to do with my physical health. It's more my mental health.
Which is
But
a good
before-
reason to take a break sometimes too.
Yeah, you've had a stressful month or two.
that is for sure, guys. I got out of a 4-year relationship. I resigned from my job. I'm moving. It's been a fucking disaster.
But on the plus side, you get to hang out with me every day now.
And Lucille.
Yeah,
And you
Lucille.
too, Ryan.
She just popped her head up.
So, well, like you mentioned earlier, when I was in college, I'm, it's so funny how you're blind to it in the moment, but like looking back, I was like, holy crap, I ate like an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
I ate so much. I drank so much, even in season. Like, and I like hate myself for this because I look back and I'm like, wow, if maybe I cleaned up my diet and I didn't drink as much, I wonder, how much better I could have performed. And I was already performing really well.
Well, we're in the same fucking boat with you there, man. I don't think Ryan and I ever played a game where we were hungover.
Nope.
Right. Like,
Some of the
That
best
blows
games
my
I ever had,
mind.
I was drunk. For
That's
real.
terrible.
Like no joke.
so once I got out of college and softball, I was still drinking all the time. I was still eating a lot. And I was like, wanted to take a break. Like after college, I was like, I'm going to take a couple weeks off. Well, little did I know a couple weeks turned into like a few months, and a few months turned into, I can't tell you the last time I worked out. I can't tell you the last time I was in the gym. So as of lately, I've, with you, Hailey, it's really nice because with your app, you're trained by HD one, and even looking back, my entire life, I've never had to independently work out or create a workout.
Right.
Or
Coach said
know
what time to
do.
be there and you were there.
Right. Like softball dictated my life. Like if I had to go to a conditioning on Tuesday morning at 5 a.m., I went to conditioning at Tuesday, 5 a.m. because I had to, not because I wanted to.
That's such a fucking hard part of being an adult and trying to get into fitness.
Yeah. And I don't have anybody telling me I have to,
Right.
It's not, it's solely on me. It's strictly on me. Like I'm my own motivation. I need to tell myself I need to go to work, go work out instead of, coach saying practice is this time. So that's been hard for me. And I feel that I'm trying to grow as a person and, really motivate myself independently and do things just for me, be a better version of myself instead of, I'm an athlete and I want to be good because I want to be better than the bitch who's standing next to me. So with your app, it's really nice to have all those workouts in there, or when you do some challenges and, I have something to base off or to, look at. So I know what I'm doing. So, and I don't drink hardly at all anymore.
Except for
I
last
would go
night.
out. Yeah, right, exactly. And I'm saying that because I'm terribly hungover. But I used to go out every weekend, and I used to drink Friday, Saturday, and brunch on Sunday. And I've kind of stepped back from that because I don't like being hungover. It's not really that fun. It's expensive. So really cutting back on that. And as far as diet, just trying to make healthier, like better decisions. Portion control. I have a really bad problem with eating to where I'm fucking miserable.
Yeah.
And I probably could have stopped, 5 minutes before that and been okay. So just making better decisions
Lucille.
on a day-to-day basis instead of, not just like in the moment and being like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to do this and eat this. And just trying to be more consistent with it.
That's a really hard part because everything is set up in our country for you to make a bad on-the-go decision. Like you're in the grocery store or you're even at like a department store, and at the checkout, there's fucking candy right there for you to grab easily. It's so planning ahead and being prepared is a big step, but so many people don't want to take the time and do that. They want to make decisions on the go, and some people can do that. I'm one of those people that making decisions on the go is not hard for me. Like I can make the best decision at a convenience store, but for a lot of people, they, if you were like, do you know what a macronutrient is? They'd be like, fuck no, I have no idea.
Yeah, what the fuck is that?
I don't know what that is.
Well, granola bars, those are healthy, right?
Right. I mean,
No.
depending on whatever else you eat.
You just had 40 carbs right there. Like,
yeah,
Right.
they're like 40
and
carbs.
29 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I saw a thing on Twitter the other day, or a meme. I fucking love memes. I'm talking about like making fun of females who are like making a better decision and only drinking vodka water or White Claw, but then you're gonna go order your extra large double frat from Starbucks tomorrow. Like,
Exactly. And that's way fucking worse.
Yeah.
Exactly.
1,000
Like
calories.
have the beer.
yeah, just have the beer. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
for sure.
Cool. What else should we talk about? What are your plans for when you move home?
What are my plans? Well, I would prefer to be employed. That would be awesome.
So anybody in the Quad Cities, if you're looking to hire somebody, you heard it here first.
I don't say fuck as much at work as I have on this podcast. I promise.
Not quite as much.
I do.
That's the perk of being your own boss, Hailey.
That's fucking true. You know, I always tell people when you're your own boss, you don't get drug tested, you test drugs.
Fact.
On that
Okay, well,
note.
Also on this podcast,
Yeah.
Hailey and I are thinking about starting a bagel business.
We are.
Like sandwich bagels.
Mm-hmm. I think this is one of our best ideas yet. We're going to call it the Bagel Dude, DOOD, because Lucille is a golden doodle. She's going to be the face of our company.
I thought it was going to be bagels and hoes.
I said I said bagels and hoes first, but
And
no.
I said some people might be offended
And
and not come.
I said, well, we don't want their money anyways.
Exactly.
That's right.
But the Bagel Dude, we're gonna see how this goes. So stay tuned for that, everybody.
Yeah, so when I come back, I really don't have a plan other than I'm coming back.
That's right.
So
Well,
we'll
sometimes
see.
sometimes that's how the best times of your life start, without a plan.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, on that note, Caitlin, thank you for being with us today. And
Absolutely.
And she's single and ready to mingle. Eat that
Jesus.
dick like a Pringle.
oh my
Oh my god.
Ryan Delph, everybody.
Oh shit.
Well, thank you for listening to another episode of The Come Up. We will see you next time.